Good evening everyone. Welcome to Daily News Analysis by Tathastu ICS. I am Manisha Armugam here to discuss Indian Express for the day. Okay. So today Hindu newspaper was not available for Delhi edition. So we have even the Indian Express, but we have took for the Indian Express Mumbai edition. So certain things we are going to discuss for the date of 5th March 2026. You will get this PDF in the description box, as well as you can scan our QR code and join our Telegram channel for regular updates. The topics of the day. First thing is about this Iran's warships. Using after a long time, okay, after around like World War II, this is the first time, okay, using the US have sunk the warship of Iran during the after returning from India after the exercise of Milan, okay, returning back at that time US have hit it. So in this case, if you see, it is about US and Iran, but how come it is going to matter for India? If you, it is in the, it happened in the area of Indian Ocean. So the highest power, the dominant power of Indian Ocean is India. So it is important for India to secure its maritime and also to stabilize the area with a positive note, like the collaborations and the cooperation with the global countries. We have to perform a proper and easy correlation. Okay. So this is what important for the perspective of India. So we will be seeing it in the IR perspective. Okay, how the maritime security is important and how the being a uninvolved party for in this war. Okay, what is supposed to be done from Indian perspective, that we are going to. Then the second one is about the unilateral military action targets. The major the unilateral military is also about how US and Israel is seeing Iran right now. Okay, we are going to see that case, how it is important for India to stabilize. Okay, what is the major causes for this war, and also we are going to see certain things. Third one is rights of people with disabilities. So this have been extended to the OTT platforms also. We will be seeing the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting have given certain guidelines. So in GS2 we are going to see the guidelines, and also the fourth one is about the data control. This editorial is basically on who is actually controlling our data. Okay, the data of personal behavior of every people. Okay, so already we have seen the WhatsApp and the Meta case, right? So based on that, this article been published, we will be seeing about it. And Finnish president have visited India, right? We are going to have certain negotiations. So we are just going to see location based information about it. That's it for the day. Then we will be winding up for the day. Okay, so before getting into the topics, Tathastu is bringing you certain courses like BA plus UPSC program. If you would like to integrate your graduation along with UPSC preparation, you can go for BA plus. And the career options never stop at anywhere. It keep on extending as evolving to the trend and the requirement of the market. Okay, the BBA plus banking courses have also been initiated from Tathastu. You can opt for Pathsarathy mentorship. If you need any guidance or any structure or streamlined based guidance from the expertise mentor, you can opt for Pathsarathy. And also we are going to start PSIR optional from 28th of April. You can take a. So let's go into the first article, which is US sinks Iran warship returning from India. So this is a major concern here. Okay. If we see, we know Israel and US at one side. Okay, Israel backed by US, and other side is Iran. They are facing the war, right? The main reason what they have quoted, that is the nuclear weapons, right? But when the dialogues were going on, still the war have started. So US have struck the Iran's warship, okay, when it was returning from India after the exercise of Milan. Okay, they have used a submarine and they have completely attacked it. Okay, so in that we had casualties, like we found 83 dead bodies. Okay, and 32 were rescued. So rest of the people under consideration only, we have to look for it what is the exact cause, but that is not important for us, we will check. So the US submarine torpedoed after after the World War II, for the first time they have used to hit Iran's warship. So this is a major thing, and apart from that, it is important for India in two cases. One is exercise Milan. Okay? Exercise Milan have started in 1995. It is actually a maritime cooperation where different countries will come and they will be working, exercising and conducting drills. Okay, and also they will be practicing the search and rescue operations also. So when Iran was returning back, it was happening. So it is biennial. So it is every 2 years this exercise will be happening, and there will be expert exchange. So from each country, the naval experts will be coming and they will be exchanging their methodologies and expertise and everything, so that the global expertise will be shared with every country. Then the sea phases where the search, rescues and drills will be happening. So here we would be able to see the joint military or the naval collaboration exercises will help eventually in certain things, like we will be having a good relation with that country. We would be able to understand the arms and ammunitions of those countries, and we will be learning something new, like the Western countries have a very good military equipments and weapons, right? So we will be getting the technology also from them eventually. So that is one of a major thing that we get it as a result. So if you see the initial countries, it was India, Indonesia, Singapore and Thailand. For the first time, Germany and UAE have been joined this naval exercise, Milan. Okay, and apart from that, France also started like in 26, France is also being a part of this Milan exercise. So apart from that, if you see, major importance is rules based maritime order in Indo-Pacific space. So Indo-Pacific region is very important. See, it is this thing happened near the internal water, like the exclusive zone of Sri Lanka, near exclusive zone of Sri Lanka, but still it is important for India to have the stabilized situation in the Indo-Pacific region, because the Indian Ocean and the Indo-Pacific region, here it is the China is a dominant one. Okay, once if US have started retaliating in this kind of third parties area, okay, it will be affecting that certain countries' sovereignty. Okay, it will be a threat to those countries also. If you see, it is in this situation, it is important for India to be very strong, and it may affect India, Sri Lanka and other Indo-Pacific countries that lies in that. So it is hugely a considerable thing, where we have to focus on the peaceful maintaining the peace in those area, because see, if US is hitting on Iran's warships and any other thing in the outer area, like apart from Iran's territory, okay, the state territory, if that keep on continues, Iran will be attacking US bases which was happening in Israel, right? So it may extend to other countries as well. So here the other country who have not involved in these war also will be getting affected economically. The destruction in the infrastructure, the growth will be slowing down. So all these are taken into the consideration. So in this perspective, it is important for India to being a high powered host in this region, we have to stabilize the peace and we have to maintain it. So this is what important in this, and also in the Indian perspective it is important. This is one of a major thing that we take into the exam for Act East policy. Then the maritime regional security have to be stabilized, which we talked right now, right? So it is highly appreciable if the India or any other country collaboratively, if they made very clear that any of the other countries' bases will not be attacked. Okay, so like US cannot come and attack the bases or embassy in India. Obviously, embassy cannot be attacked, but for a saying, I'm telling. So it is that case it is important for us. Okay, just go through the thing, otherwise it is nothing much in this. So moving on, the unilateral military action, selective moral logic, we have seen this before. So here this before is stating that how Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria cases have done by US. Okay. So here the unilateral military is nothing but US and its alliances. Okay. This is the first thing, and second thing about selective moral logic. So this selective moral logic is hypocritic. Okay. So I am being a nuclear weapon state or any country. Okay, I am asking other country not to develop your nuclear weapons. It is saying that we are stabilized and your development in the nuclear weapons, it will be destabilizing the region. So this is a major reason that have been given. So we will be seeing one by one. Okay, so it is the US language is always for a war is like moral clarity should be there, and evil regime should be checked at times, and future catastrophic must be prevented. The major thing is threat must be neutralized before it matures. So when it comes to Afghanistan issue, it voluntarily involved, right? And for like around 10 years, more than that, it was like, sorry, for 2 years it is huge destruction in Afghanistan, and lately the purpose what they came for, right, it was not fully satisfied, instead they have flew away very quickly, right. That one is the first concern. And in Iraq, for toppling Saddam Hussein, right, after the attack of 2001, right, September 11, 2001. So that also have like they came to stabilize the internal aggressions and everything, but instead of settling those things, it have even worsened the condition. Okay, there was a sectarian war also. So we will be one by one. So this is majorly talking about, this article is majorly talking about how US or the ideology behind the war of US is always about stating, the dialogue is about clearing the moral clarity and also uprooting the threat of terrorism or anything else. Okay. So this is what the major concern they used to give as a statement, but in the real terms are different there. Okay, we will be seeing one by one. The major three concerns that have been quoted in this article is, first one is non-proliferation. So here the nuclear power, the nuclear weapon, right? So US and Israel have a huge nuclear weapons, but they are saying that Parul, I have highlighted this for your understanding, like this is the major thing that you have to read. So the non-proliferation of nuclear weapons is about, like, see, US and Israel has huge nuclear weapons, but they are saying that Iran's nuclear weapon will be a destabilizing one in the region. Okay, so how hypocritic it is, like having a nuclear weapon, already I have secured everything, and somebody is asking me not to go through, like not to develop my nuclear weapons. That is not right, right? So that is a major thing. Okay, and the nuclear arsenals possessed countries quoting that Iran's nuclear power is destabilizing. So it is mentioned here, Iran's hypothetical ones would be destabilizing. Okay, it is going to be a threat, like that they are telling. So if nuclear weapons are catastrophic, they are catastrophic everywhere. Deterrence is legitimate. It cannot be the exclusive privilege of the powerful. Here, that is what we have discussed. Like being a supreme power, I cannot, like having the nuclear weapon, I cannot ask somebody else to destroy it just because stating that it will be a destabilizing. Here they have said that if it is destructive for everywhere, right? So be it US, be it China, be it Russia, whomsoever is having. So nuclear weapons is destructive, matlab it is destructive to everyone. You cannot give the privilege to those powered economies or the powered states. So moving on, the second one is about the geography factor. So if you see this war majorly considering the to put down Iran, Okay. So because how come we are understanding it is to put down Iran? Because see, yesterday we have last class we have discussed that how Iran is the only power that is against Israel's ideologies and everything, right? So it is time for Israel to topple it and to stabilize that area where the US backed Israel will be a huge dominance there. Okay, so for that huge thing, there the economy have to be fall down of Iran. So the major economy of Iran is what? The oil reserves, right? Even India gets oil from Iran, right? So now the geography factor is a major concern here. So the Strait of Hormuz that we have discussed already, right? The 1/3 of the world's oil energy is from this Strait of Hormuz only, right? But what happens here is attacking Iran, it will be progressing what? The higher oil prices. Okay, the food supply chain also will be get affected. It is not going to, the war is not going to start at one place where the oil prices alone will hike or the government alone will fall. It will affect the food supply chains and also the electricity grids. Okay, so here the inflation is about not only the Iran, it is about the other countries who are related with Iran. Okay, so like as in India, okay, as India, what I will be expecting, the manageable or the affordable oil prices. Because of the tensions there, if the oil prices are rising, okay, right now the Strait of Hormuz have been closed, so the oil prices are being hiked, right? So what if I am getting the oil for higher prices, my energy security will be in a high cost one, right? So here the inflation hits not only Iran, it will be hitting very badly to other countries who are dependent on them. Okay. Then the third one is about the airstrikes. So the major concern about the airstrike is they are trying to destroy the nuclear infrastructure, right? But the original concern is about airstrikes will be partially destroying it. It cannot be precisely or it cannot be completely destroy the infrastructure. Okay. So the destruction is kind of a meaningless here because the aim is to stop the nuclear weapon development, right? But if it is partial, how it will be justifying this, right? So the justification given by Israel and US is somewhat different from what the actual causes. Their major concern is about to change the regime. Okay, but for the namesake, the tagline have been given that the nuclear weapons. So here it is saying that the destroying nuclear infrastructure, it will be partial only using the airstrike. Okay, they have bombarded the schools. Okay, so like around 150 students have passed away. So all these people, all these things are like highly destructive rather than which is supporting, justifying their motive of this. Okay. Then the bombing does not weaken a region. So this is what the major concern that have been said, that bombing does not necessarily weaken a regime, it can enrich it. We saw this in Iraq, where the Saddam Hussein things we have discussed. The removal of Saddam Hussein did not yield swift democratic consolidation, it yielded insurgency, sectarian war and years of instability. So end of the day, after those wars and everything, the Iraq was left with these ones, the insurgency, sectarian war and also the instability in the area. Now the next idea is about being making Iran also unstable there. Okay. So that is what mentioned here. Okay. So this is said that Iraq, these are the three incidents that have been mentioned there. Iraq, the removal of Saddam Hussein. Okay. So after the 11 attack, okay, 11/11 attack, so it is kind of a major destruction in Iraq, and their government like the Washington DC have asked Saddam Hussein to leave the country, and after some time he have been caught and he have been killed. There the civil war have been uprised. There was sectarian, when the new government was set up, it was Quraysh. So the Shia and Quraysh were having a collaboration, but when it comes to Sunni Muslims there in the Iraq, they left out. The minority have been left out, and there was a unequal recognition of those sections. So that led to this war also, and also lot of insurgencies because there is high destruction, there is no employment and job facilities, right. So it have resulted in the insurgencies as well. Okay. So Iraq also, Afghanistan, they were asking for the institutional transformation, but rather than the exact institutional transformation, Taliban came back to the position, right. So it is highly like their aim is something and the result is coming out something. Okay, that's what mentioned. The fragmented civil war also there, which happened in Syria. So everywhere when the US is stepping into any country's internal things, or if they are going with the war with any country, their major concern is to destruct the economy. Okay, the economy will be destructive. First thing. The second thing, the government which is favor for them. So the favorable government, these are the major thing that has been focused, where the unilateral military, the one like one block will be formed in eventually. Okay, that is what they are trying to do over here. So have a glance about it. You might have received this PDF in the description box, so go through it. Okay, you will be getting it. Okay, it is very simple article. Okay, moving on. The next one is a setback for the rights of the disabled. So here it is very important how Indian government and the certain the updations, the digital era is bringing the inclusivity for everybody. Okay, so if you see the televisions, the OTTs, like the audio visuals are normal for the normal people, right. So it is accessible and it is entertaining for normal people. But when it comes to the visually and hearing challenged people, it is very highly inclusive for them. So they are being distant from these entertainments. So the rights to Person with Disabilities Act 2016, which have been got the updations for from 7 disabilities, now they have moved to 21 disabilities. They have added more disability criteria as well, like SLD, the specific learning disabilities, okay, and also the acid attack victims and cerebral palsy, and also the autism. So the learning the language and this kind of persons are also have been included in the rights for PWD. Okay. So this is a major thing, and this article is completely about the MIB, the Ministry of Information and the Broadcasting have given the guidelines for OTTs to have sign language, so that the inclusivity of PW people also will be satisfied. Okay. So the inclusivity here comes with the rights of all persons with disabilities to have a cultural life, to participate in recreational activities equally with others. So there should be equal representation and there should be equal participation in this cultural life to the disability people also. So if we see the guidelines, okay, so here we have mentioned that about the reservation, okay, 4% reservation in the government jobs and 5% reservation in higher education. So students in the age of 6 to 18 years, okay, with PWD, they will be getting the free education as well. This is the constitution values that you have to know. Then when it comes to the article, the MIB guidelines here. So earlier it have been proposed certain things, and seeing the practical next challenges have been changed also. There is an update one also, I will be telling it. Okay. So the first one is within 6 months of the guidelines publication, the OTT platforms should ensure 2 things. First thing is about for visually and hearing aid people, challenged people, there should be for hearing challenged people, it is either same language caption should be given or the Indian sign language have to be represented there to understand it. This is first one. And second one, there should be audio, okay, the audio description for the visually impaired people also. So those who have visually impaired, they can only hear. So there should be audio description as well for this. So here two different things. One is for hearing, where the same language captions will be given, and the second thing is about Indian Sign Language. For the visually challenged people, it is like there should be audio description should be given. So this is the first thing. Second section is about how the time duration that they have been given with. Okay, so here the OTT should be for the new content. Okay, there should be, these two have to be maintained within 30% of the new content should be having 12 months, and 60% should be given with these provisions. Okay, within 18 months, and 100% it have to be attained in 24 months. When it comes to the practicality, the larger OTT platforms can do it with the all the tools, but when it comes to the smaller OTT, the technical tools are not that open to them. Okay, it is highly expensive and they cannot afford it. So keeping that in mind, so what they have told that within 3 years the new content can be given with these provisions, which will be helpful for the people to get the hearing and the visual entertainment. Okay, so this is what that have been given at a last. So the big budget film, when it doesn't stop with OTT, the big budget films also will be having 6 months period to have, after their publications they have the time of 6 months. Within that they can give this provisions for visually and hearing ability. Okay. So in the AI summit recently, you could have seen, okay, where Sarvam's AI foundational model tailored India's linguistic diversity. Okay, even Mr. Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi, right, his speech have also been translated using AI. So in the AI summit, so it is very comfortable for Indian digital era to go with these. Here one of a major advantage that we have with AI. So it will be helping people to go with the language diversity and also the accessibility for these entertainments as well. So this is the crux of this article. Just go through it. Okay, but only thing is like the delaying process, like the considering the economical factors of the OTTs and the corporates, it is taking little time for Indian government to impose all this. All of a sudden we cannot impose it, right, because we don't have the tools. So till then it has been implemented, till that the PWD people will not be getting the right to participate in this cultural life. The entertainment will be a kind of something which is for some time it is sent from these people. So what we have to do, like as far as it is possible, at least the major big corporates like Amazon, Netflix, right, so these platforms can go through it initially. Eventually all the small OTT platforms getting them. That is what the major feature of this article. On who controls our data really? One question. So here the metaverse question, we have seen that, right, the Supreme Court have intervened and it questioned the concern, like the consent is like always I agree, right, be it cookies or be it any other information that have to the data has to taken. So the consent is always about I agree only, there is no alternatives being given. This is a major concern where the consent is being considered into the coercion, the forced one, like you have no other option. It is like touch either of the two fingers. I have given you only one finger, but I am asking you to touch either one of it. So this is what being told, that content into coercion, right. So the Supreme Court is telling that, have questioned that, see, the coercion is not a reliable, that is not a right one. Here we have to focus on the alternatives also have to be given. So this article have a critic word, okay, we will be discussing. So the meaningful consent requires choice and choice requires alternatives, but there is no alternatives in that. Okay. So the market dominance can turn into the consent into the coercion, like how the market dominance is been talking Here the market dominance is about, like WhatsApp is the biggest platform where we will be using more. Like India is the biggest market for whom? The WhatsApp, right? So this is a major concern that we have. Then which the concern does not stop there. Okay, the market dominance alone is not the concern. The thing is about, like, the access, the data that have been taken from us is about which device, approximate location. So everything has been noted, and these are being given to, like, even device details and also the contact list also have been given to the metaverse, like where the WhatsApp is keep on. It is a major concern. It is not a smaller thing, it is a very big thing. So the court of the eye of the Competition Commission of India, the CCI noted a star. So here the inequality, like the inequality is about how now the Right to Information Act have taken the broader word that if there is any public interest, larger public interest, then also the privacy cannot be what? Then also the privacy of the private informations of certain individuals cannot be given, right? So here the criticism is about state is securing the privacy of the state officials, and when it comes to the people, the common people, it is not that fairly maintained. So that is what the major concern have been discussed here. So the digital meta and the CCI have now taken the matter to the Supreme Court, turning the dispute into a landmark test of digital rights, where the court has taken a hard stance, orally demanding an affidavit assuring no Indian user's personal data will be shared. So it is asking that, Supreme Court is asking that you have to provide a proof which will withstand in the legal provisions, that is affidavit. Okay, so they have to mention, they have to submit that mentioning no Indian user's personal data will be shared. Okay, so here the right to privacy, the case of Puttaswamy, right? So this have been the major case for the right to privacy, but at that time the digital era was not present. But now when we look into the digital era, our DPDP Act, okay, so this is somewhere falling down with this the privacy of common people with the digital era. So here we have to bring the we have to bring the new provisions where it will be withstanding the today's digital era's challenges to secure the privacy of common people, okay, that have been mentioned here. So can individuals fully control their own information? Can they decide freely and meaningfully what they share with and with? Okay, this is the that is the essence of privacy, and it is being strained not only by corporate, which is the provisions, the legal provisions and the law or the act, which is not including this kind of consent and other related matters, serious matters. It is showing that not only the corporate, even the government also is staying out of this privacy concern of common people. What being said here. So whom I am texting and what I am texting, everything should be under the privacy. It should not be given to the corporates. Okay, so that is what given here. So that's it with this article. Okay, do citizens control their data or does their data control them? If you see, everything is data driven, right? So everything, like even the ads that pop up, right? The videos that you see that are basically on the algorithm what you have already searched. So all these data, even if I chat with my friend like this color dress I want to buy or this color bike I want to get it. So all these informations are being transferred, and if you see in Instagram or in YouTube, you would be able to see the ads popping up on those topics. So it is somewhere or the other your data are being shared and our privacy is reached at times. The major thing, and we will be seeing like the DPDP Act may get the alterations also. Okay, there will be some amendments also. Okay, so that is what from this. So just have, I'm not again I'm not getting into the details because we have already discussed this article. Just for the refresh like just for a glance we are moving on. The last one. So the Finnish president came to India for 4-day visit. It is expected to there will be certain dialogues and the discussions will be based upon trade, investment and critical technology. So if you see the this article why we have picked, majorly it will be effective in your prelims where the location based questions will be asking. So recently you see the place in the news Finland. So based on that it will be asking the mapping questions like what are all the areas that have shared their borders with Finland, like Norway, Sweden and Russia. Okay, and apart from that, which is the major water body that being in the touch with Finland area, right? So Baltic Sea. So all these are kind of location based areas only. If you see India and Finland relations, there is no much greater or much low strained one, but it is a decent one. Eventually after this meet we will be able to find more stronger relation. What given in, other than that nothing is important. Okay, once the dialogue has been done, okay, after the meet, if after the agreement has been signed, would be able to get the more information about what are all the critical technology they have talked about and also the investment they have discussed about. This we will be getting. If you have any doubt, please let me know, otherwise we will wind up this. Okay. So far today, okay, majorly the articles are from Indian Express only. Every article is from Indian Express only. You can read the international edition of Hindu or you can read this also. Okay, and if you have any doubt, please let us know. Otherwise, we will wind up the. Just look into the states or any other countries. Okay, which frequently popping up in the news, so that we will be expecting a question in the prelims for the border based or any other location based place. Okay. So thank you everyone, thank you so much for joining the session, and if you have any doubt please let me know. All the very best, keep studying.